So yeah, I think I need a haircut. Hey everyone, welcome to Boards and Swords. I'm Chris Renshaw, and this is just another one of these attempts at a vlog. First of all, I want to say some of you that listen to watch the YouTube channel or may have seen the podcast, you may not even know, and I mentioned it briefly last week, that we've got a whole website full of content. Here's what you missed this week, the week ending in July 3rd on the website if you haven't checked it out. On Monday, we looked at the Witching Hour, which is a session of Arkham Horror, the card game, and I left my thoughts and opinions on what happened there. Tuesday, I looked at the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, which is a D&D source book that's written by and contains the world surrounding the Critical Role web series. Wednesday, I looked at the Thor deck for Marvel Champions and tested it out and gave some thoughts on it. And then, of course, on Thursday, we had the Dirtbags of Holding podcast, which this one is the first set of outtakes from our Avernus game. So, that just a quick note there. This video is going to be just a bunch of random, or this vlog is going to be a bunch of just random clips. I've got pictures of the cats that you may be interested in. I've got a bunch of other stuff, so let's get started. Oscar, what's up, kitty? Hi, bud. What are you up to? So this is Oscar. He's the cat that likes being down here the most, probably. Say hi to the camera. If you're curious, the stains on the floor are from when I built those things and didn't put a rug down or a cloth down because I'm an idiot. Everybody wants to see your pretty face. Well, it's unboxing time. This actually did make it into the last week's vlog because I literally got this. It's Friday, the day that the vlog went live. So, Oscar's over here. You want to come? Come here. Come be on the camera. Yeah, look at that. Somebody loved being on the camera and showing everyone his butt. So, kind of have an idea of what's in this box because it's from Wizards of the Coast, but let's see what's in here. Want to play with the paper? Ah, it's not what I expected, but instead it is the new Scooby Doo version of Betrayal because we needed 50 million versions of Betrayal. But honestly, this is one I'm surprised they didn't do sooner. I was kind of hoping it was the new Theros book, but I think that's already been released. All right, so we got Scooby Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. It's really thin considering all the other previous versions of the game. So we got our cardboard, also a lot thinner than the previous games, a lot thinner cardboard than before. And then tokens, of course. And then obviously the house rooms, so everything so far that you would expect from, and then you got the standees, more rooms, and then you've got the rule book. And although I'm seeing there's only like a handful of rooms here. Let's see, 1, 2, so that's 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, plus another 9, so it's what, 28. 28 rooms. I don't know how that compares to the previous versions of Betrayal. Got a little small. I'm assuming this is all the Haunt, Omen, whatever their equivalent cards are in this game. And then you've got the rule book, which biggest question is going to be, how do you, who becomes the betrayer or whatever. I'm assuming just one person stops playing their character and starts playing this. And I'm going to open that later. And then, of course, you got your dice and then the little ability markers and your standees. So about what you would expect for this game, just a lot less stuff in here, which might be a good thing for Betrayal, because I know it can get pretty intense. What's the time length that they're stated on here? 25 to 50 minutes. If that's true, that's amazing. So hopefully that this is like a Betrayal light. If so, then there's kind of hope for this game. Because that is kind of one of the problems of Betrayal. The original one is it does kind of drag on. This one suffers from one of the problems I've seen before, where it's just like the components are just kind of cheap. But that's what you kind of get with this sort of production right here. So we'll have to see at some point what it's like. All right, everybody, say hey to Winchester. This is one of our other kitties. I call him my little panther because he's part Bengal, so he's got a little bit of a wild side. So we let him hang out outside during the day most of the day, and then at night he comes inside and loves on us, or if it gets too hot or whatever, or too cold. But he just wanders around the neighborhood exploring. Most of the neighbors know him. And so it's really funny because Ashley will pick him up at the end of the day like, you smell like somebody else. All right, so a little bit different lighting setup, a little bit different settings on the camera, still a learning process. But I wanted to know if anybody was like me and likes just collecting. You know, people talk about collecting board games. I don't necessarily, sometimes I have those tendencies, but what I am more a collector of is RPG books. Like you've seen them in some of the other shots, but like the bottom two rows all around me are just filled with books. And they're not just like because they're pretty to look at, but also because like I read a lot of them. I don't know if I've read everything down here, but I read a lot of them, and I've mentioned this before, that I take ideas like bits and pieces from here. There might be a mechanic I like here, and I'm gonna put it in this game instead, and that sort of thing. So I'm always getting new books. And recently I have like a Amazon wish list. That's not necessarily the one I send to like people like, hey, get me. I have it. It's called stuff I want but not right now, just for me to see. And basically it's just got most of it is just RPG books. Like every Star Wars one that I don't have is on there, and that sort of thing. And I realized the other day that some of them like have gotten cheap enough, and I need to just like once, every time I get paid, just make a tiny purchase, just a new book, bring in a new book, some new ideas, like I said, something cool to do. Plus I'm, helping the games economy, spending money on that sort of thing. So I got my first kind of batch in here from Amazon, and I wanted to go through it. First things first is something that's been on there, but it's not actually an RPG book, but it is still a book that's pretty. And that is the deluxe rule book from Arkham Horror, 3rd edition. So anyone that knows me knows I love Arkham Horror, but I didn't do the pre-order where you got this included with your purchase. So I found this was only like $10, $12 on Amazon nowadays. And plus it's got like extra stuff inside, like additional stuff about all the locations and the lore and the characters, which I'm all for. So I finally got this, and this is definitely going with my Arkham Horror game, the 3rd edition one. Another one that I've been wanting for a while, not because I didn't have it already, and that is I've had a PDF version. I've talked about this in a previous video of the Ultimate RPG Character Backstory Guide by James D'Amato. And I've had this forever in PDF form, but I wanted a physical one that I could flip through. You know, if I wanted to do a random thing at a character session, I could just go, wah, and just open it up and do one of the activities on here. So I wanted one of these. This was also a quick and easy pickup. And then lastly, getting something off of that list of stuff, Eternal source books and such, is the Star Wars Force and Destiny Unlimited Power source book. This is a source book for mystics. So unlock your full potential with unlimited power. This supplement expands upon the Force and Destiny role-playing game, adding new content for mystics and other characters who desire to understand the mysteries of the Force. That's definitely, I have not played, I don't know if I've played like one semi-Force user, so I have not really dabbled too much in the Force and Destiny side of Star Wars, so it is something I do want to read more about. So that's kind of like my pickups of the week, for, if you will. So do you have anything, what's on your like wish list that you may not necessarily advertise, but just stuff that's on there that like at some point you might get around to buying it? And or just, is there an RPG book or source book you're looking to pick up sometime soon? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, back here in the studio, and I got another unboxing for y'all, and this is looking at Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. I teased this last week, talking about it. I picked this up. This is not a review copy. I, just like the rest of y'all, found out that this was coming out at Target last Sunday and picked it up. Father's Day, I think that was when it came out, was Father's Day. So picked this boy up. So I've already taken the lid off here. So let's find out what's inside. All right, so we're down here. Let's take a look at what's inside this box. First off, you've got a Welcome to Gloomhaven sheet here. Stop. Read this before you do anything else. There are more components in this box than you may be used to. We're already setting opinions here. Give you step-by-step instructions on how to easily organize your game box and where to go from there. It's neat. So it talks about like the plastic tray, all the initiative order tokens, the bags to separate all the monsters, and all the different guides. And then talking about don't open these boxes, etc., etc. So we're just gonna unbox this in order. First off, we have a Learn to Play guide. Definitely a lot smaller than the normal Gloomhaven book here. And then the, what is this? The glossary. No, this is just if you need to look up a quick, once you've read the rules, but like, wait, what was that again? You can quickly look up that. Oh, this is the supplemental scenario book. And then we have the actual scenario book, so you can open up and it's got the maps, and then you can orient it with the supplemental book to make full sheets there. Let's see, we've got obviously your stickers and then punch outs and more punch outs. If this is going to be like the previous game, this box is probably going to be halfway punch outs. Let's find out. Yep, decent amount. So more monsters. More monsters and the elements board. Some more monsters, and then some initiative tracking, and some damage points. And then the Gloomhaven board itself, a lot smaller than in the previous game. And then we've got all sorts of goodies in here. It's actually a pretty decent insert, especially compared to the original. We got a tray here for all the different components. We've got little boxes for all the different characters. We've got our hit point trackers. we got all the different character cards and abilities are going to be in there, I bet. Your city events, because you don't have road events, because you're all inside. And then all the monster cards, modifiers, the decks for the monsters, extra bags, the little skill things, items, and your modifier decks for the players as well. So it's a lot of stuff in a very tiny, I mean, I'm very impressed. Like, it's clearly a lot of work and a lot of thought, not just into the actual game, but just how to present it in a way that's very open to somebody. And like, there's no reason if you have not played Gloomhaven to not get this first, based on just this initial, and from me playing the base game of Gloomhaven. If you're interested in Gloomhaven at all, then you're going to want to get Jaws of the Lion, because this is like everything in a very neat and tiny package that's already loads less confusing than if I got out the big Gloomhaven box and just spilled out all the contents onto there. So not even having played the game, I can already tell you that this is a massively good idea, and I bet it's going to make this game even more popular than it already is. And that's all I've got this week. Let me know down in the comments below if you liked, what pieces of this you liked, what pieces you didn't, so that I know how to tune these into pass. It's almost like when I'm making this, it's more like a variety show of just different segments and bits kind of thing. So let me know which pieces you do like. And I'm really trying to I really want to spread and grow my audience here. So if you would do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up, make sure to click subscribe if you're not already. But if you are a subscriber, make sure you click the thumbs up. That really helps in like rankings and getting visual. And if you didn't know, there's another thing, is that I have a Patreon for the website. If you want to help out in other ways, make sure you go check that out as well. So until next week, thanks everyone for watching, and may all your hits be crits.